Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Everybody, and welcome back to another day on crypto and on PulseChain. And so we're going to have a lot of fun today. We'll be doing something a little different today. We're going to be exploring beyond Bitcoin, and I'll let you know what that means later on. So stay tuned for that. We're obviously going to check out all the markets with crypto, Bitcoin, PulseChain, and some of the crypto news as well, particularly around GameStop. So I hope you guys enjoy the show coming up. Now, as always, don't forget to share the show on X and get out there. Remember, we're the only show really doing daily shows 8 p.m. Eastern. So definitely share the channel around if you love the people to hear about everything around PulseChain. As you guys know, I pretty much cover it all. So it's your daily dose of news and updates for sure. So definitely get out and do that. Don't forget to get involved and get into the chat also. I'm going to post the link to the show there on X and share that around. If you're on YouTube as well, share that as well. We're streaming on 4 different channels at the moment. And it's very cool to have everybody attending. So a big shout out there. All right, without further ado, we're going to jump straight into the show and keep kicking it forward. I think I'm just going to quickly go through my X account there and see what else is going on. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So we're going to jump straight into the stock market and talk about that. We had obviously some big news. Obviously, Trump has been over at NATO and doing a great job over there, and getting a lot of kudos there as well. We had the S&P 500 ekes out again to remain near record highs. So everything's looking pretty good in the markets. And so we've got the Dow Jones is actually down 0.25%. So that's down 106 points to 42,982. That's the top 30 industrials, remember. Then we've got the S&P 500 is flat at 6,092. The NASDAQ, however, with all the tech companies in it, and that's the one we're really looking at, is up 0.3%, 61 points to 19,973. So almost back at 20,000 there. And that is very, very exciting. So that's where we're going to get all the big technical revolution from, right? With the latest, Blackwell chips from NVIDIA and AI software, AI development, robotics, all that sort of stuff is coming. So there's a lot of convergence happening between those technologies, bringing us into a new technological age. So it's going to be very exciting over the next 3 to 5 years. The US dollar is depreciated down to 97, which is incredible. Remember, it was 108 when Trump got in on the 20th of January. So that's pretty crazy. And we've got commodities at the moment. We've got West Texas. They're both pretty much flat at $65 and $66.50 for Brent oil. Gold at the moment is up a little bit, $5 to $3,348, and silver is up 18 cents to $36.29. Yeah. So that's got to where the commodities are. We seem to be seeing the ceasefire from Iran holding. So that's kind of good news. So ceasefire seems to be holding there. Trump announced the start of the ceasefire, and there was obviously a little bit of tit for tat at the end there. And so Trump pulled all that back, of course, and things seem to have flattened out. So kind of cool. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said earlier Wednesday that Iran is now much further away from developing a nuclear weapon, which is pretty good. And elsewhere, NATO leaders, of course, have agreed to a high defense budget, a spending target in NATO, where Trump is 5% of gross domestic product by 2035. So that is a pretty cool for Trump's foreign policy victories. Now, the big turning, of course, is onto Russia and Ukraine. Looks like there were recently decent talks between Zelensky and Trump, and Zelensky actually wore a suit for the first time, so it was good to see. And looks like Trump will be talking to Putin about trying to get peace there. Trump saying that Putin is ready for some sort of peace, so that could be pretty positive moving forward as well. So everything that Trump, the peacemaker, continues, and of course that will give us a great environment for an economic and crypto boom, right? That's kind of what we're looking forward there as well. Now we've obviously got Jerome Powell returning to Capitol on Wednesday. or later Wednesday, and continue to caution against sooner rate cuts. Of course, this is very much political. He's playing politics. Obviously, we got low inflation than we did back when he did the rate cuts. When Kamala was going into politics, they were very happy to lower the rates then. But of course, they're not doing it now. So very political move in my view. So we shall see where it has. He obviously got a grilling from the House lawmakers on Tuesday, why the Fed is not moving quickly on the slashing rates. So we will see where he heads up coming up into the 30th of July, which is our next potential rate cut, right? That's a pretty big deal. We're also obviously looking forward to that potentially maybe being one of the catalysts for the altcoin season, and maybe something Richard Hart is watching pretty closely also. We got Q Baller in the house there, morning all. Some promising tweets from RH overnight, says Q Baller. We got Hexvader in the house there. Hey, good to see Hexvader. Big shout out there. All right, so that is kind of where we are at the moment. Investors will watch Wednesday for data on new home sales after US consumer confidence dropped more than expected in June. So it's something we'll be looking out for as well. All right, that's kind of where we are there. We're going to switch over now to crypto, but once again, get into the chat there and get lively and let us know what's going on with your perspective of PulseChain crypto and things like that. That would be very, very cool indeed. So let me just pull something up here. Kind of cool. Let's see here. All right, we're going to pull that over there. We're going to put that over here. We're going to put that over there. All right, so let's get into that's the stock market. Let's get into the crypto and see where that is at the moment. And so crypto, we've got the market cap at 3.4 trillion. It is down 1.5%. Remember, that reflects 17,529 coins on the CoinGecko index. We've got a Bitcoin, though, at the moment looking very, very good indeed. $107,371, up 1.1%. So hooray, Bitcoin. And we're going to be talking more about that today. We're going to look at what are beyond Bitcoin. So look forward to that coming up. We're going to be looking at Ethereum here, down 1.3%, $2,417. We've got XRP at the moment, down 0.3% at $2.19. BNB down up 0.5% at $645. Solana at number 6 is down 1.7% at $143. Tron at number 8, which has been performing pretty well recently, down 0.2% is at 27.3 cents at number 8, and Dogecoin there at number 9, down 0.5% at 16.4 cents. And then number 10, of course, is Lido, down 1.3% at $2,416. Obviously kicking Cardano to number 11. And of course, that has dropped, hasn't it, for the time being. All right, so that's kind of where our top 10 are at the moment. Best performer at the moment has been BNB and Bitcoin. Bitcoin up 1.1% and a BNB up 0.5% today. The only ones in green. Over the last week, the best performer has been Bitcoin, up 2.3%. So still in Bitcoin season. And then, of course, XRP up 0.6%. Those are the two best out of the top 10. Looking at the top 100, we've got Say is still performing pretty well, up 56.8% for the week. And is the best performer in the top 100, sitting at number 67. And then we've got Pi Network suddenly making a little bit of a move at up 15%. And that is it's all today, actually, at 16.1%. And that's sitting at 62.5 cents. Now, that is ranked at number 35. If you guys remember when it was rallying up to like $2.70 or something, it was sitting at like number 10 or something around that ballpark. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. Obviously, highly controversial. Pi Network is highly controversial, and so we will see where that all leads at the moment. But so far, it is down 62 cents, and the market, a little bounce today, but not too much more. Kaya there up 13.2%, down 9.9% today, but up number 3 for the week. Aptos at number 4, up 8.8%, and Stacks up 8.5%. So those are our top performers at the moment, and they are all actually, they're quite highly ranked. I mean, Stacks is at number 91, Say at 67, Kai at 84, only Pi Network and Aptos are in the top 50 there, in the top 5 for the top 100 there. So that is the play. Let's have a look at the top gainers in the top 1,000. Well, we got Hashkey there up 58.8%, Gains Network up 26%, and Marinade up 21%. So we're getting quite a bit of turnover in the top gainers in the top 1,000. Let's have a quick look at Hashkey platform, as we often do, sitting at number 461. You can see actually this has been around since November 26, 2024. So not too long, really. It looks like it had its big hurrah in crypto. We see that time and time again. Then got sold all the way off. So what was the high there? The high was $2.28 on December 21st, and it came all the way down to 26 cents. It's now been rallying at 74.5 cents. So maybe some news driving that. And of course, hash is a token, and you can trade that. Let's have a look at the website and see what this is all about. Discovered unparalleled speed and security on Hashkey's Chain's Layer 2 network. So there we go. It is a Layer 2, and that is there. So must have had some news come out for that to start pumping back up there. Maybe something to check out. Now, let's have a look at another one here. We've got Gains Network up 26%. So we'll have a look at that. That is ranked at number 635. It has been around since November 2021, since the pretty much the end of the last bull market, and had a nice little rally, didn't it, up here into February 19, 2023. So a couple of months before PulseChain launched, was at $10.30, and has come all the way down to about $1.15 and has rallied at the moment to $1.93. So that is interesting. Gains Network is a developing G-Trade, a liquidity efficient, powerful, and user-friendly decentralized leverage trading platform. G-Trade there. I think, in fact, did we cover this the other day? I think we may have. All right, let's jump back out and have a look at the last one here, Marinade. Let's have a look at Marinade. Here's the third one here, number 618 in the top 1,000 at the moment, up 21% at 14 cents. And you can see this has been around since October 2021, so pretty similar time actually. And towards the peak, the second peak, right, the Judas candle was around here. And that was sitting at $1.64. It has had a pretty brutal little chart here. And, it's just the way it goes. There's been a lot of brutality in the charts across the board. But that is coming off the bottom here. We're at a 10.4 cents now, at 14 cents. So there we go. And that is a Marinade. And it is a governance token for Marinade. There we go. Allows you to stake Solana without locking in liquidity by converting Solana into MSOL, a tokenized version of Stake Sol. Enables users to secure the network by staking Sol. We're also utilizing the MSOL and the Solana DeFi ecosystem for various purposes. So there we are, pretty cool little simple utility. That is the play at the moment, and those are the top 3 gainers in the top 1,000 on the move. Trending at the moment, Notcoin, Toncoin from Telegram, been trending for many days now, hasn't it? And then Say as well has been trending quite a bit, so no surprises there. That is our crypto wrap up. So yeah, we're down 1.6% last 24 hours at 3.41 trillion. Bitcoin though looking strong, $107,391 at 1.3%, 2.5% for the week. So not bad there for the old crypto. And that leads us into some of the crypto news, which is GameStop. And of course, GameStop, they're continuing to accumulate. GameStop's Bitcoin push echoes strategy, but without the cushion. That's the article from Crypto News. GameStop just secured another $450 million in its debt-fueled sprint towards becoming a Bitcoin-heavy treasury, bringing its total capital raise to $2.7 billion. But unlike strategy, the company is doing so without a retail business in freefall. So there we go. With a retail business in freefall. So what happens when you have retail business in freefall? You buy assets that are going to expect it to go up, right, to offset the loss there. Could be a smart move. You decide. According to the recent filing with the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission, video game and retail, GameStop secured an additional $450 million through its full exercise of a green shoe option tied to its $2.25 billion convertible notes earlier this month. The offering brought GameStop's total capital raise $2.7 billion, a war chest that says will fund corporate investments, including acquiring here Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. So this is probably just going to be one of many. We're going to see a real, it rains at pours. We're going to see a real pouring of projects, corporates coming in to get Bitcoin for their reserves. Often you do have to change, the board will have to change its risk management policy to allow Bitcoin to be accepted, that sort of stuff, and still comply with the laws of the state. So often maybe some government laws have to change sometimes as well. Strategic imitation or reinvention in motion. GameStop's aggressive pivot to Bitcoin echoes a now familiar playbook. The company's recent filings reference to an investment policy that includes acquiring Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. So it kind of mirrors Michael Saylor's strategy, which has been stockpiling Bitcoin since 2020. Now has about 560,000 Bitcoin or something. So there we go. That is part of the play. So yeah, and more people like this. We also see, the Trump family looking to do something similar to the strategy as well. With their investment with Liberty, accumulating Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other altcoins. So it is pretty much game on there, and that's going to lead us into our Beyond Bitcoin section. So I hope you guys enjoy this. We've got Tyndale in the house there. Top quality news to anyone blessed enough to pay attention and listen. I appreciate that, Tyndale. Big shout out there. Let's get next moving. Let's go full screen, shall we? Bam, let's go. And here we are with Bitcoin, a chart on a Coinbase. And I went through this yesterday, so I won't go through it again. But we did add a significant update in timing for Trump's three-legged stool strategy, which we've been following since he came into power, 20th of January, earlier this year. And of course, just as a quick summary, we got the big tax bill expected to be signed probably by Friday. So that's pretty bullish. That is massive news, guys. I can only see massive green candles, assuming nothing else bad happens. I can only see massive green candles leading into the weekend. Big tax bill. Maybe we get a slight delay. Sometimes the market does weird things, but it's looking pretty green leading into the weekend. And then, of course, 4th of July, Trump would expect to sign that. And that's pretty cool. Was it 249 years for America? 4th of July. And then we're coming up to the 8th of July, of course, with the 90-day trade tariffs extended. And that's when we're going to start getting trade deals, start getting announced after the big tax bill. They might leave it a couple of days, right, to give it a bit of a breather between the big news around tax bill and then the trade deals. You got to remember Trump's he's a show TV guy too, right? Besides being a deal maker. And so, we might see a little bit of a breather before they get all that news just to get the most bang for your buck, right? So we'll see. But that is expected next. Interest rate cuts, potentially a lot of pressure going on Powell by the 30th of July. And then, of course, China's tariff extension ends on about mid-August with 125% tariffs. And, of course, deregulation leverage is the third leg of the stool. So, all setting up for the golden age of America. So that's kind of where we are. In terms of the crypto, we're on Bitcoin, we've got a golden cross. It's been playing out since, April, and that's still rallying really high. And we are pushing high here right now, leading into that big tax bill for the weekend. So probably Friday is my guess. Could be approved. So game on. Hearing good things out of Congress and out of the Senate for that. And so that is looking pretty positive for the big tax bill there. And we're expecting, massive a boom in the U.S. economy, right? Boom in the U.S. economy. Now, we probably, can Trump deliver a golden age of America where you get 3 or 4% GDP growth or more? We shall see. I think Argentina's just hit 5.8%, is it, with Malay, I think his name is. Expect some big things there. It's going to be quite exciting where this goes. So that is Bitcoin. Now, this is Bitcoin at $107.518. We're going to have a quickly look at Ethereum though, because as you guys know, we were going to get a golden cross very soon on Ethereum. So we'll quickly check that. And yeah, we still haven't quite got a golden cross on Ethereum yet. But we are sitting there pretty close. We've got the yellow line, which is the 50-day at 2,424. The orange line at 200-day at 2,469. So the gap there is about what is that, $45, something like that. So that is the gap between the golden cross. We're getting so close, guys. But we've got bullish news leading into the weekend. Can we do it over the next 4 or 5 days? Get a nice little push up here and close it out and get on to real bullish move in Ethereum, and then maybe altcoin season getting closer and closer and closer with this alpha news that's coming. So that is kind of the play there on Ethereum. And of course, we talked about Bitcoin. Now, we have our own Bitcoin on Ethereum. It gets bridged over from Ethereum to PulseChain. And here we are. This is the chart here on PulseChain. And of course, we're going to go beyond Bitcoin itself. And here we are on PulseChain with our own wrapped Bitcoin. Now, as you guys know, there is a subset of Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network has been custodialed over on Ethereum, and that is called wrapped Bitcoin over on Ethereum. And we can actually bridge that in over the official bridge over to PulseChain. And here it is in this chart, right? So we have the official chart here for wrapped Bitcoin on PulseChain. And you can see the pools, relatively sized, 290K. But we've got 31K of volume at the moment, and people can buy and sell a Bitcoin there, right? So kind of cool. There's 1.35 Bitcoin in the, or wrap Bitcoin particularly, in the pool there, and that is ticking away there at the moment. So that is wrap Bitcoin. I'll post a link to that chart if you guys want to check it out. The old wrap Bitcoin. That is the first one there. And what else there? So that is ticking away 107,044, looking pretty good. Now we also obviously have other big. Actually, I just lose it. I think I just lost the Bitcoin chart that I had. Let me just pull it up. I had another chart here. Let me. So that is the Bitcoin. Now we also obviously have wrap Bitcoin, right? So this is forked Bitcoin. This is the fork version. So this is the bridged in wrap Bitcoin. And as you guys know, we also had wrap Bitcoin. So when PulseChain forked Ethereum on the 10th of May 2023, we got a fork copy of Bitcoin, right, or wrap Bitcoin in particular from Ethereum, right? So yeah, you can bridge in the original wrap Bitcoin from Ethereum over to PulseChain, but there was also the fork version of wrap Bitcoin, right? And this is going up, and away, right? We've had some big themes on wrap Bitcoin. We back in the day we had the big farms, right? And here we are with the chart at the moment on the old Bitcoin. Let me go to the daily chart here just so we have a better view here. I'm going to have to set this up a little bit here, log and order that. But that is the chart there. I'm not a bit worried about doing the full screen because it might go beyond take up my whole screen. But here we are at $465 at the moment, having a nice little rally over the last 3 days. Look at that. Let's go to the, should we go to the monthly chart? Let's do the monthly chart on there and see whether that sets up nicely. Yeah, that sets up pretty good. So, we're actually doing pretty well. We have had a high several months ago. I want to say about 8 months ago, back in November. And we had a high here of $2,577. Pretty crazy. Obviously, the first day we had some ridiculous spikes here, 2,400 or something. But we've actually got high lows. Look at this, high lows tracking ahead here in the old wrap Bitcoin. Now, this is the fork version, right? So it's obviously not worth 107,000K. It's at $7,000, but 465 at the moment. How high will this go, right? How high will this go? That is the question. Now, I think we've got protocols coming like Better Bank, which I think is taking PDI. I think it may be taking a wrap Bitcoin. I can't remember. We're going to have the founder probably coming on the show eventually. Good old Nikki there from the XUSD team who's doing Better Bank. That's obviously going to be particularly bullish for PDI community. And also, I think it's taking some of the Richard Hart core coins, if I remember rightly, as well. But I'm not sure if it's doing wrap Bitcoin. It may do. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. So don't get too ahead of that one. So kind of cool. All right. So that is where we are at the moment. 465. Kind of cool. So it's 465 at the moment. And here we are tracking up here, 465 on the chart on the old Pulse coin list, which is pretty cool. And how high will it go? I mean, we've already been up, $2,600. That will be fun to see where that goes to. We will see where that all heads. So $465 on the old Bitcoin, up 23% today. Where will wrap Bitcoin go to, right? I actually think it's probably going to do pretty well, right? I think it's going to probably do pretty well. And just how much of a percentage of what we might call the original Bitcoin or classic Bitcoin will it get to? It's $107,000 at the moment. We're at $465. So how high will that get to? In fact, let's do a little bit of moon math if I can find my calculator. Let's say 465 at the moment. And we'll divide that by 107,000. 7,000. So let's have a look here. 700, and that is let's do the math. That's sitting at about 0.43% at the moment of the original classic Bitcoin. So we're going to see how that goes moving forward. I think that's going to be a lot of fun there as well. All right. So $465 at the moment. And it's currently at 0.43%. How far will it get? Will it get to 10% of the Bitcoin value? Will it get to convergence? Obviously, there's a big theory out there. I think Somi talks about it, about getting asset backed for Bitcoin, matching a classic Bitcoin with a wrap Bitcoin, and seeing where that goes to from here as well. So that could be pretty interesting to see whether that creates some sort of one-to-one. But at the moment, we're at 465 without any backing. But maybe we've got some third-party protocols coming. And of course, the community continues to grow. The narrative of Bitcoin being bull market moving ahead could be pretty exciting as well. So we're looking forward to where this wrap Bitcoin will go. We will, and not just wrap Bitcoin, the forked version, but where will all the PRC20s go in the bull market ahead? How will the Magic Carp ride affect that? How will all the on-ramps with all the capital affect wrap Bitcoin? I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see where all that plays out at the moment. So that is a wrap Bitcoin. Have I posted the link for that? So I'll post the link to this one if you want to check that out. Obviously, Somni does a lot of coverage on this one. So you can see he does, I think, PDI, but I think he does the wrap Bitcoin too. Obviously, covering a lot of stuff like that. We've got Titan X in the house there. Good to see you, Titan X. So that is the wrap Bitcoin chart there. Kind of cool. All right, so that is that. Now we've also got, obviously, back in the day, we had a Pulse Bitcoin launch, and that was pretty interesting, right? So Pulse Bitcoin launched, and it is currently on Ethereum and on PulseChain. So the idea of this was to do mining. Now there were issues of slow rugging going on with this project, so it had quite a bit of controversy at the time. But now it seems to be taken over by Fat Sammy and what they call the Pulse Bitcoin Guardians. And they seem to be a large number of holders that are moving the project forward, locking up liquidity. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Obviously, only 21 million coins in this. And of course, there was a lot of mining, just like with the Bitcoin halving. They had Bitcoin halving, all that sort of theme in there. And at the moment, it's currently sitting on Ethereum at 8.2 cents. So this is sort of like ticking away at the moment. You can kind of see the chart here on the old Ethereum side. This is Pulse Bitcoin, and we had this little flash crash back here on the 12th of May 2023. So it's quite a long time ago now. And then of course the chart there was just sinking down all the way down to about 3900th of a penny. So that's kind of the play there. It had been up in the dollars, as you guys know, up like $3.60 here on the Ethereum side. And it has currently been rallying off the bottom there from 3900th of a penny up to 8.2 cents, which is actually a pretty good move from the Pulse Bitcoin side of things on Ethereum. And that is up 2,000% in 70 days. So that is on a move up high at the moment. So it's going to be pretty interesting. You can see there's locked liquidity in there. As I understand, I think the UE is using UNCX to do that. And really, it's, I guess, a group of large holders, committed holders that are seeing this as a store of value and moving that up. So that's kind of where it is at the moment, up 2.78%. Apparently, there's a lot of things coming from this team to lock up even more supply and trying to make the Pulse Bitcoin there a store of value. They also have obviously the ASIC token as well, just like you have ASIC miners on Bitcoin. So that is ticking away here at the moment. So that is the Pulse Bitcoin chart. So that's another, Bitcoin beyond Bitcoin, as it were. So PLSB, that is the chart there on ETH. So that's on ETH there. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of these all these coins play out moving forward. Hey, we got Igor in the house there. Good to see you as well. Appreciate all you guys' comments in there. That is the PLSB on Ethereum. So we're going to keep a lookout on this and see how it tracks. We obviously got the same token, but on PulseChain. So we're going to see. And obviously, the guardians of Pulse Bitcoin, they've definitely been guarding the chart now. Doesn't look like as much activity is happening here on Pulse Bitcoin on PulseChain as there has been on Ethereum. So obviously, quite a bit of focus. Looks like they're obviously focusing these guardians on the Ethereum side at the moment, and that's at 8.2 cents. And then, of course, there's no locked liquidity here on PulseChain. Liquidity is a lot smaller, $8,200 compared to $55,000 on Ethereum. And so at the moment, this is priced at 1.2 cents, which is clearly, maybe a seventh, 1 and 7 lower or something. So that's kind of where it is at the moment. Market cap 224,000. Whereas this side here is 1.4 million. So it gives you the difference there. I think the supply numbers must be pretty similar as well. So that is tracking as well. Remember, 21 million Bitcoin or Pulse Bitcoin. We're going to see where this goes as well. Maybe this year we'll see whether it does anything this year. We'll keep a little eye on it there with the old Pulse Bitcoin Guardians. So that is there from that team. So Fat Sammy's looking out for that. You can check him out. I think he's on Telegram and doing his thing there on the old Pulse Bitcoin. I'll post the link to that one too. That is Pulse Bitcoin on PulseChain, and you can check that out. So that's our little review of Bitcoin beyond Bitcoin, and you can check out some of those things and get involved in the community if you want to check them out as well. All right, let's move on into some of the big news that we've had overnight. Richard Hart has been tweeting out with a real big X storm, and it's been pretty exciting to see him get really animated here. So lots of different topics, of course. Yeah, pretty cool. We said if you want to split beam when you pee, spread it. So he's been out with his little memes. What else there? I've identified things that people don't think thinking by. Sorry, I identify things other people don't by thinking deeper. It's crazy how people stop at one level. For instance, people talk about billionaires affecting elections by spreading their speech. So he's got a lot of political messages at the moment. So he definitely has been doing a big X storm. Someone in the chat there mentioned this earlier. Let me just scroll back up the top here. Who was that? Yeah, Q Baller in the house. Okay, Greg, some promising tweets from RH overnight. So Richard's been on a nice X storm here. 15 hours ago, still here, still educating. Imagine a world where marketing en masse outpaces greatly a YouTube channel with 160,000 subs and an X account with 300,000. That would be a fine world there. And so you got Richard in the mix on there. Awesome. So it's great to have Richard back again. Obviously, Richard's been in the Monster Thread, weekly Monster Thread, the last couple of weeks, doing some great encouragements, rallying the community to get fit, rallying the community to get out marketing, all that good stuff. So it's been pretty good. And of course, 6 hours here. Just a reminder that I truly do not and will not use XDMs. So if you want anyone to see your post, you're going to have to post it publicly. And 3 hours ago, so guys, it's been 2 months. You got a non-profit set up in the UK and in Australia yet. So yeah, he says, I wonder who has a registered charity or similar, a type of non-profit entity that might want to spread the good word about free and open source software. Here, many countries offer discounts for such entities who might know somebody. So there we go. That is something Richard's pointed out. 2 hours ago, you guys are already overflowing the room, so going to delete the link. I'm not sure what link that was that he's referring to there, and so on. So yeah, he's been posting out. Oh, he did an update here on the workout. Hilarious to me that what I could barely do yesterday, I could do pretty easy today. I benched 240 times 11 deadlifts, 205 times benched, 5 negotiable chins, I guess, chin pull-ups is it. Next workout, I'm trying 300 on the deads, and we'll see how it goes. So he's moving on up there as well with his workouts. What else has Richard been talking about there 6 hours ago? I want to be a useful part too. A community member needs to know time to hit the phones again. What large fulfillment or bulk mailing company can turn 40 containers full of free electronics gifts into mail globally? I would assume it's wise to go country by country, but in the EU, I think a couple of countries tend to do fulfillment across the whole area. Figure 1 million to start with, which is about 5 containers. Time frame is about 2 months. And so there we go. That is Richard, I guess, talking about marketing now. All right, so that is from him. He's got the little Telegram tag there. What else has he been talking? 6 hours ago, you want to be useful. We talked about that. Oh, no, we didn't. Is looking for a USA free zone to receive an older couple of 40 GP containers for a month. Was it? Apparently, their contents will be imported as donations to a 503c, but tax certificate hasn't come through yet. So that is from him. No, he stops there. I'm not sure, but let's jump through some of these other comments. Jumping through that, it's got that USA. So that is from Richard there, posting out and about there. So a bit of an X storm there from RH. Very cool. So thanks for that, highlighting that one. So that leads us into GoPulse, and we've got some questions in the chat there. I'll try and get to those soon. If you've got any questions, get them in there as well around PulseChain and stuff. We got day 776 is where we are. After PulseChain launched on the 13th of May 2023. We got Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0248, up 4.48%. We got PulseX at the moment at quadruple 0209, up 5.4%. And we got Ink token there at $1.44, up 5%. And we got Hex there at 5100 of a penny, up 3.46%. And we got eHex there at 1600 of a penny at the moment. So those are the PulseChain tokens, and they're on the move. They're on the move. So we got much better green candles today than we had yesterday. We did get that, that day plus one that we talked about yesterday. So nice to see PulseChain moving a little bit more green today on the back of that. And of course, Bitcoin over $107,000. It's nice to see PulseChain getting a bit of love. Now, I didn't manage to update the bridge data today. So I'll try and get that for tomorrow. We definitely had some, still some capital leaving yesterday. Not sure whether that reversed overnight, but I'll try and track that down. Maybe I'll put that in the X post coming up after the live stream. So that's kind of where we are at the moment on PulseChain. 7.28% of PulseX has been bought up and burned so far. Let's have a look at the gas prices. 1.4 million beats at the moment. 1 cent for a PulseX swap. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Validators at the moment, 50,178. So it looks like we're down, what's that, about 31 validators from yesterday. And then a bridge at the moment, 93.1 million almost, is where we are sitting on the bridge, which looks like we're up slightly from yesterday, right? Probably EHEX contributing to that in some degree as well, up 14 with the price up slightly. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Bitcoin back at 27 Bitcoin. That's kind of cool. Obviously, USD Tether and CST have both been contributors to the upside. EDI, ETH, and USDC are the ones that had got removed from the chain and on the risk management there around the Iranian issue. We'll hope to see whether all that capital and more can come back in the weeks ahead, right? So that's kind of where we are on the old chain. Looking at the overall volumes, we were up about, we were doing about 18 million yesterday, somewhere in that ballpark. We're at 10.6 million today, so we're on the low end. And it is a weekday, so it's not the most friendly, but we have got green candles, so that's positive, right? That's positive. All right, so top performers at the moment on 24-hour trending. We've got IPG, only been around for an hour. So obviously, do your due diligence. Nothing I'm saying is investment advice, right? You got to remember that. I'm going through the markets here. So 12,200%. Stake ETH at the moment is 49% at the moment. So we saw that doing green yesterday too, didn't we? The old stake ETH, so it's kind of cool. BFF, your best friends forever, is it? But that's up 24%. We've got Love.io, which is seem to be performing pretty well these days. It's up 17% as well. Let's have a quick look at that and see where that's going. In fact, we might go back to stake ETH and have a look at that too. So yeah, we've been rallying on this chart for the last 4 days from 5 zeros 1,500 to 5 zeros 2,400. That is up 17.5%. As you guys know, we got stake ETH up here as well. I might as well jump into there since we've been talking about Bitcoin. Should talk about some of these other fork copies, and here we are at 1.2 cents here. This has been, having a good move the last over 2 days now. Look at that. Even after getting, absolutely wrecked for about 2 weeks, and after already having a big pump there, so stake ETH there on the move. I'm not even sure what people narrative around that, but just probably the ETH moving up, I guess. So yeah, that is on the move there. Now we've got James Maria, right? James Maria with a Troper is on the move as well, so up 17%. So and Teddy Bear as well. So it's great to see this on the move. Now I did see some stuff around James Maria talking about the blockchain. I guess running too fast, the data running too fast, or something on the old computers, but on the old nodes, I should be more specific, shouldn't I? The old nodes, and that is apparently pretty normal. So apparently there was a bit of a false alarm there. We had Hans from Midgard talk about that, bring some sober thought to the reason why that was happening when I guess he was rebooting something. But anyway, James Maria's tokens, Atropa and Teddy Bear on the move. And we did talk about this some time ago, a couple of days ago, about how much dry powder and how much movement we could see in the Troper and Teddy Bear. Obviously, I expected to see quite a bit because it's got some works in magical ways. But there we are, 15 and 70%. So chart speak for itself. So we're going to have a look at Troper first, since it's at the top there. And there we go. We're having a pretty, it's doing actually pretty well after all the drama back here, right? James Maria apparently getting worried about the Mr. Dong leak, which is fair enough. And then taking all the liquidity out there. You can decide what you think of that, though. And then, of course, we're back up, almost back to where we were. So pretty epic. So if you were lucky enough to, get something down here at half a penny, you're done pretty well, right? You've done pretty well. So up 1,450% in 90 days. So congratulations if you're one of those rare people that maybe picked up some of this zone here at the time. So yeah, back up there at 8.1 cents. So Troper is on the move, and actually the chart looks pretty good, as I think you guys can see there. All right, let's jump up to Teddy Bear. Good old Teddy Bear. Now, if you guys haven't seen the movie Teddy Bear, I definitely watch it. It's so funny. Teddy Bear 1 and 2 with Mark Wahlberg is a hilarious movie and fun for the kids and the adults alike. So there we go. In fact, it's a very adult, got a lot of adult themes in it. All right, so that is the Teddy Bear. Let's have a quick look at that. And that is on the move as well. So, this obviously had the same drama as a Troper. And of course, with the liquidity being pulled over the bridge, all the Ethereum, it was live streaming it, right? Everyone remembers that. And here we are back up at the moment, 8.06700s. Sorry, 8.08700 at the moment, and moving back to higher highs. So this might really continue to move higher, right? On the back of that, everything's looking pretty positive. And with all the bullish macro news in crypto, this might really start to run. Obviously, do your own due diligence, not financial advice and all that, but that is looking pretty good, old teddy bear. So those are top performers in the top 10. So that's all the top 10 that we've gone through. In terms of OG Web Chef, at number 11 is up 13% there. We got Pump Tires. So obviously, the Richard Hart sort of non-core cause, is it? The Pump Tires. What do we have a name for these ones? Most was a best and pump. It's up 12.2% at the moment. Not bad. Seems like something that might do quite well. But, is there that much going through Pump Tires anymore? I mean, there's still every occasional tokens migrating at the Pulse chain. But I just wonder about that. But anyway, crypto is, there's limited supply, and maybe as Pulse chain does well, then Pump does well as well. Certainly, a bit more risky in some ways, but less supply around, so you just never know. We got Die Hard there, so PDI on the back of PDI. You earn PDI, don't you? Up 10.8%. We got Surf Token from Crypto Paradise. Now, I can't say enough good things about Crypto Paradise team. These guys are crushing it, and I think we're really lucky to have a team of this quality and size over on PulseChain. So a big shout out to Nick Hellman and Maru and all the rest of the team. These guys are crushing it. They've got a big giveaway at the moment. I think $10,000 or something, a buy giveaway. If you're getting into the DAO and all sorts of stuff, they've got so many different features in there. Definitely well worth checking out there from the Surf Paradise team. And they bring a real level of professionalism, doing lots of cool collaborations. I love their open-mindedness and seeking out new partnerships. This is what PulseChain's all about, right? So very, very cool. 1.7 cents. This is going to really bring a lot of cool stuff to the old PulseChain. And at the moment, it's bouncing off the bottom there after we had the retrace again. Obviously that pulled down most of PulseChain when the whales splashing around and the bridge leakage over $3 million, etc. And well over 12 million in value over something like since the 3rd of August. 3rd of June, I should say. So very important there. Let's jump back down to the charts there. So that's actually up over the last couple of weeks, and there on the move. Let me I've got the ruler. I don't have the ruler here. So this is the daily candles, and we're up 34% in the last 2 days. So keep a lookout for this team. Definitely a big team. Looking forward. PDC the Grey is one of my magnificent 7. Is up to 10% at the moment. And then X Game, which I think was dramatically oversold. Hey, look, so that happens in crypto. Some of the best stuff you can get oversold. And here's X Game. We were waiting for the big decentralized crypto casino. So we talked about some big teams like Surf. Obviously, PDC is one of the big communities on PulseChain. But we've also got the Fire Whale, right? So Fire Whale, one of our 2 big whales, at least 2 big public whales, along with Rack and Michelle. Looking forward to decentralized crypto casino. X Games can be a crash game. And of course, we've got the first dedicated community around that. And man, it feels like, because we're covering PulseChain every day, it feels like we're involved in everything. Doesn't it feel like that? It feels like that to me. I'll tell you that much. It feels like that to me. It feels like I'm involved with every team. I don't know what it is, but it's because I cover every day, right? This is the way it goes. So we're up 9% at the moment, 9.25%. X Game is sitting at 1/1600 of a penny. Looks like a pretty good buy from my point of view, but once again, not financial advice. Coming off the bottom, look at the RSI bouncing off 31. And here we are on at 1.6. So with the big news yet to come, we're expecting 4 big product rollouts from Firewall, as well as potentially some big marketing budget, and that could be quite large. So I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that could potentially be quite large. And of course, not just the marketing budget, but the network effects as well. They've got the access to particular networks. So keep a lookout for this. Could be the viral killer game on PulseChain that we've been waiting for. There are a couple of projects that may be trying to get a place to be that first killer viral app on PulseChain. And who will it be? Will it be X Game? I'm really banking that X Game has the best chance so far out of the protocols. Obviously, there's some big stuff happening on PulseChain from Jacob with On-Chain Bet, another decentralized crypto casino. But yeah, I think X Game's got the front legs at the moment on that one. Obviously, with On-Chain Bet not really launching to September, October, if it's on time. Obviously, that's when the claiming token period runs out. So yeah, at the moment they're both going to be multi-chain. both going to be multi-chain. They're going to have different tech probably, but that is going to be pretty interesting. 16 out of a penny at the moment, X game. So keep a lookout for that one. Could be a really good pickup right now. Once again, do your own due diligence, your own research. That's what crypto is about. Most wanted. Obviously, we talked about pump tires being up at number 12. Well, most wanted is also pretty green today. Another one of the so-called Richard Hart tokens, 7.6% at the moment. Dominance at the moment is up 7.5% as well. And one of the OG web chefs. So we've got a couple of those in the mix today. Remember is up there. And I think BFF, I think is one of those, if I remember rightly. BFF one of those? I can't remember. I don't think maybe it is, but it might be. That's the one I always get confused about, so I'll just leave it there. I might have to do some research myself. All right, so here we go. We got dominance at the moment, up 7.5%. We got UFO, obviously with PDC. PDC is up at the moment, and UFO not doing too bad as well. Let me just scroll down here. We've got a few more on the move. Yeah, we've got time dividend up 7.2%. Now, I think time dividend is probably going to get rated pretty highly as we move forward in the market. Obviously, with 80,000 downloads and climbing, they did a nice big Chrome connection update yesterday. I think there's some, the future is bright for time dividend. And of course, people getting paid from swapping fees, which should only just go up over time, right? Should raise the yield on time dividend. And it'd be pretty nice to see. I don't know whether KG is going to do some big burn feature, like increasing burn, maybe additional burn features or something for time or something, but that'd be pretty cool. But so we've got Reserve Tay at the moment, 7% as well on the move. Pulse Puppy up 6%. And our Soar Sun Minimal, as you guys know, is one of my Magnificent 7. So I got the 4 Richard Cores, and then I've got PDC the Greys, and then I've got Solid X, and then I've got Soar Sun Minimal for different reasons, right? They all have their own potential risks to them. So that nothing's really invincible, but they definitely got potential upside is massive. So that's kind of the reason why they're in there. And of course, you might have your own Magnificent 7 on PulseChain. So this is my Magnificent 7. We've got Soil there up 5.77%. Now, obviously, actions need to follow words, right? So you can make a lot of words, but actions need to follow up. So that's why we have to keep track of the projects and see how they're performing, the actions versus words, and then how does the market respond to that, right? So we're at 5.77% at the moment. A nice little pickup at the moment, only 6.7 cents. Off the recent high of about 16.4 cents, I think it was, on the news. Of course, they haven't launched a lot of the stuff they were going to launch, so they're already delayed on that, right? It's another 2 more weeks, but this time it's a corporate rather than a software development team, although it is a lot of it to do with software loading on the website and the new wallet. So we'll keep a track on that, and I'll try and get you an update. There was no update in the weekend, right? So there was no update in the weekend on that. Now, the other one, the last one of the Magnificent 7 is Solid X, $8.50 at the moment, up 5.6%. And of course, this is probably going to be doing pretty damn good, right? It's probably going to be doing pretty damn good. I'm excited about this, along with X Game, which has probably got way oversold right now. Is the old Solid X at $8.52, and this could do some exciting stuff. Remember the first 10 days, I think it got up to $265. So just to give you an idea, can it get back to that sort of glory again? Well, probably $100 is definitely on the cards. Just depends on how viral, how much big this X Game and decentralized casino go. They are seeking a formal crypto license. So that would be very rare in crypto, actually having a licensed decentralized casino, and it will be multi-chain. So yeah, it's we'll keep looking out for that. So going to be pretty exciting. I'm very excited. It could be very close indeed. Timing will be also important because obviously these big whales are smart. They're looking for the where's the market at? Have we got rid of all the bad news, the likely bad news? Obviously, no one knows the perfect future, and can we get a good timing? Because timing is always important as well. But then the ramp up could be pretty severe. Firewhale, of course, is one of the 3 pump tires. So there's the original OG. This is the one you want to get. This is one that's going to have the staking and the burning, right? The Solid X, the yellow one. But there's also pump tires, right? There's 3 of them. There's the X Game. There's the Firewhale. Now, Firewhale is the one that Firewhale only owned 55% of when he launched, as opposed to 82% for X Game. And of course, there's another Solid X one as well, which he owns 82% of, which is a pump tires. So that's kind of the play there. We'll keep a lookout for those. Obviously, we're in a down market at the moment, so having little green candles is kind of nice, and we know how fast these can all re-rate, right, as we move forward. PulseX is in the mix there at number 40, up 4.5%, of course. Doubt Token, another pump tires, up 4.4% there as well. Phoenix is up 4%, not bad there too. Another pump tires. Lady Gaga there is up 4%. What else is on the move here? UpX token. So if you like Pulse, then UpX is on there. Good old Haunted out there, and he also does Validator X as well. So that's up 3.6% at the moment. I think Validator X is doing about 20% APY last time I heard. So you guys let me know. APR, APY. So you get out there, let me know. They would be the same over a year, right? Over the year, those two ratios. Anyway, so we got probably under other circumstances, fixed payments. We got INC there at the moment, ticking away as well, up 3.6% at number 50. So that's our top 50 at the moment. So we've got 50% at least in the green on our leaderboard. That's better than what we've had recently. What else there? We got Sparta at the moment. Now I saw people, not liking Sparta too much. Some people like Sparta a lot. It's going to be pretty interesting. Obviously, they got getting a lot of hex in their treasury. We're going to see whether that strategy works out. People make up different tokenomics, and they're all experimenting to see what was the best play. We've seen tons of that experiments over the last couple of months, haven't we, on PulseChain? There is so much different type of tokenomics trying to think what would be the best fundamentals. Obviously, things tied to the Richard Hart cause, a big backing there, a lot of LP webbing going on. And so we're going to see how all that plays out once we get a bit of a rally on. Obviously, we've had a lot of leakage in terms of over the bridge, Mr. Dong and many other things. A few dumps for risk management. We're going to see it all. We've had everything on this chain the last couple of months, haven't we? And we obviously defeated the SEC, but man, it has been a crazy time on PulseChain. And you guys know when you have a crazy time and it's to the downside, then what's the upside going to be when we get to that? That could be crazy too, right? Crazy upside time. So that's going to be interesting to see too. So at the moment, we've got Hex at the moment at half a penny. That's up 2.5% there, 9-inch. This is the thing is, will we see? I'm expecting to see it, right? So I'm just asking the question, though. You can decide yourself. But we've obviously got all the way up here. We had, sorry, I've gone too far. We had time dividend, right? So I kind of see because it's got swapping revenue, it's kind of like a DEX, right? Because it's got swapping. But we also got down here, we got 9-inch all the way down, right? So 9-inch is our third biggest DEX here on DEX Screener. And this excludes the famous protocols, right? And this is the 9-inch. That's up 2.5%. So it's going to be interesting to see how that gets re-rated at the moment. Let's have a quick look at 9-inch and see how far down that is at the moment. That is way down still. Even though it's had a good last couple of days, it's really bounced off the bottom there. 6 zeros, 9,400 is now at 5 zeros, 11. So, nice little recovery in terms of the price there. And of course, we know that this was one of the biggest sacrifice projects on PulseChain. It's up 18% in the last 2 days because Hexy Bastard there was $16 million. So it was really one of the top projects. And so will we see some big moves on this? We shall see in due time. So yeah, big deal. We should do a show, shouldn't we, on all the sacrifice projects? Should I do that? Because you guys know I used to cover them every day. I was the only one covering everything on PulseChain as it launched, all the sacrifice projects every single day. And so maybe it's time to do a refresher. We go back and say, which one do we consider did well or not? That's a good show. I think we might do that. All right, so look forward to that coming up soon. So that is pretty much it. What else we got going at the moment? Your Mum is up there 1.3%, and that's at a big burn, right? I think Moon King was onto this one. We've got Gas Station from OG WebChef up 1% as well, sitting at number 71. Loan Token, Liquid Loans, which was the biggest sacrifice outside of PulseChain, PulseX, $52 million. Will that do a big pump at the moment? At the moment, it's hardly any liquidity. $100,000 in there in this main pair. Will we see a lot more action there? Question mark, right? Question mark there. Now, obviously, I think all the DeFi protocols that are not looked at these days will probably get re-rated because they're also cheap. And of course, as PulseChain gets more valuable, they will be implicitly more valuable, right? They were talking about the liquidity forks, talking about the swap dexes, the aggregators, things like that, right? All right, so what else we got going? We got Fetch at the moment, the Oracle from Liquid Loans. Hey, we got Liquid Loans up here, and we got the Fetch Oracle, which is Liquid Loans as well. I'm not sure why we saw an update from Jacob over on PUSD ALGO, which we're waiting for, right? The first true algorithmic stablecoin, probably globally, not just for PulseChain, that hopefully will be the ultimate holy grail, right? It worked very well on testnet over a year ago. And he's got a team building it out, very advanced. He says it's so advanced now that in terms of development of PSD Algo, that has to go forward anyway. And he loves it because he thinks it's going to be great anyway. But he's just talking about pragmatically that they've already so committed that it's going forward. Now we're waiting for Signum Oracle, and that is not yet launched. But we are getting an update apparently, I think this weekend on that one. So this weekend, I think we get an update on Signum Oracle. Fingers crossed, guys. It's getting close. 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks. But we're getting there. I said myself I wasn't going to say 2 more weeks anymore because it annoys me. But there we go. I've just capitulated again. But there we are, Fetch Oracle. That is number 80 at the moment. We'll keep a lookout for that. Will he use that because it's already launching, or does it not have enough functionality or enough reporters reporting? Maybe that's possibly part of it. So we'll keep a lookout for that. He said there were no oracles, and I was like, "What? We got Fetch Oracle." So I'm a little confused. That was 3 months ago too, right? All right. So not only do they have liquid loans and Fetch Oracle, right, the liquidity fork and the Oracle, but they also have. I remembered it yesterday. I keep forgetting it. Remember the multi-sig. I've done a video. I'm the video they use. They use my video for education on how to use it. I keep forgetting the name of it. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I'm cursed. I'm cursed. PulseChain something. Pulse something. Oh, whatever. Oh, man, this is bad. This is bad. Every time it's my It's like my kryptonite. Literally kryptonite. Forgetting the name of that thing. Multi-sig, what is it called, man? It really gets to me when I forget it on live stream. But anyway, that's just the way it goes. We got Ink Dollar there from another liquidity fork, right? That is flat today. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we are on the chart there. How many we got? We got 82. So we got 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10 or 80 out of 100 that are green today on PulseChain. Modestly, let's say. How many we got over 10%? How many we got over 10%? We got 17 over 10% from the looks of it, out of the top 100. But yeah, we're looking for days where we start getting 20, 30, 40% day after day after day for a good week, right? That's where we want to get altcoin season kind of FOMO into the markets and a lot of capital floating in there too. So that's kind of the play there at the moment. We've got some other ones there that's been floating around. Fitzgerald, they were on a big live stream with Mo the other day. We got a lot of the OG web chefs here, Gas Money, Beast, Missile. They're all down here at number 84, 86, all just down very slightly today. Gophers, the good old 404 contracts. We probably should probably do a bit more coverage of 404s too. These are kind of the hybrids. They got both the the PRC 20 and the PRC 721 tokens, sort of hybrid together, 404s, and you can kind of switch between the two. I think they should be used a lot more for tokenomics. So hopefully we'll see a bit of a boom in that front. Obviously, 404 Mons out there, fantastic collection, 404 Mons. So that's from. I think we might have had the founder in the chat there earlier, did we? I think we did. Who were Tyndall? Yeah, Tyndall's there. So yeah, we got Teddy Bear, of course, from Moon King. Oh, well, it's not from Moon King, but someone's done it that Moon King knows potentially, and they're a big backer of Teddy Bear. And of course, who else? Not just Ian Heinisch, I think, a big backer of Teddy Bear. So we have different strategies on PulseChain. We have whale strategies. You can follow the whale tokens like SolidX, for example. You can follow the geniuses, the geniuses like James and Maria, and then we've got big influencers, right? So these are the coins, because they've got a big audience, you assume that they're going to get a lot of different buying power. But of course, you don't know who owns the tokens, right? It's true for all the tokens, but particularly true for new tokens, right? Because you got a whole fresh batch of people. They haven't been through a cycle and all this, stuff like that. They haven't been through enough up and downs in the chart. So you haven't ironed out the early players, right? Which is always the bigger risk at the beginning. And so here we are on the old Teddy Bear. It's currently at 1300th of a penny, pretty much down the bottom here. Had quite the big sell-off here. Failed to break 9/10 of a penny, really. And so didn't get over a cent. And then it's just been sold down slowly and surely on, relatively low volume. But, there's not a lot of volume in there, right? Liquidity 78K and whatever it was back here. So it's just slowly been sold down there. And that's kind of where we're at the moment. So is it a good buy at the moment? Let's have a look at the RSI and see what that is at. And so this is kind of a whale strategy. And, maybe they've been talking about big money. Now, I think Ian Heinisch and Moon King did a live stream earlier in the week where they did 23 coins. I think Teddy Bear and PDC the Greys were the ones that they thought would do particularly well, and you can go watch their video on that. Obviously not financial advice, we're just doing reviewing of what everyone's out and about there. So yeah, this is well oversold. Look at this, 28 on the RSI. It's well oversold there. Is it time for this to start moving up? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Obviously, RSI is one indicator, but a very good one. And maybe you have a look at some of the moving averages, got some bullish crossovers, things like that. What's the 4 hour look like? Well, we're up at 38, 39, and we've had a little bit of rise over the last couple of days. There's the 4 hourly. So is this the time for Teddy Bear to be going on the move? Have we got a bit more stability on PulseChain? Is it going to go? We shall see. But at the moment, this is Teddy Takeover. But as we know at the top here, James Maria, Teddy Bear is on the move, up 14.5%. So the original Teddy Bear is on the move there. So we shall see where it all goes. So, the markets will decide, will they not? But yeah, maybe they both do well. We'll see what happens. Can Moon King and his troops manage to get that going? We will see. Cord at the moment is up down 1%. Sparta, we got PMX. Let me go through some of these. 9mm. Now we talked about 9-inch, right? So 9-inch is our third biggest DEX here. 9mm is our second one on volume, and that is down 3.5% at the moment. So we see a bit of a retrace. I imagine we're going to have to really wait to see PulseChain really start to move double digits, perhaps. And then we'll start to see, PVC token, 9-inch, 9mm start to move on the volumes. So that's kind of the play there. Then we've got GoPulse, obviously, with GoPulse site. And then X as well is down 5.5%. And that is pretty much it for our top 100. Man, we went through everything, but it's so exciting to talk about PulseChain today because I really feel like maybe, are we turning? Is this going to be the turning event? Have we had enough capitulation events? Do we need a big wick? Or is it? Do we just have multiple sell-off events and then we get there? Yeah. So 90mm at the moment, almost $1 million in volume. That's a lot better. And then 9-inch at the moment is sitting at 100,000. So look at that, almost a 10-to-1 9mm versus 9-inch there. That is crazy, right? What's the market cap of 9mm? It's 1.1 million. What's the market cap of 9-inch? Let's have a look at this. Remember, 9-inch is also on Ethereum. I haven't actually looked at that for a while. Maybe we should do that too, since I've looked at Bitcoin today. Where did our coin go? 9-inch. Oh, that's right. I got to go 9-inch. So my bad. My bad. We got to go over here, and that is 1 million. So they're pretty much the same market, but 9M is doing 10 times more volume. Now, what is doing the volume though? What's doing the volume? We've got PulseX doing the volume 150. We've got Coast in there. We've got Soil. But what is doing the volume on 9-inch? Let's have a look here. Solid X 9-inch. Basically Solid X is doing most of the volume on this one from the looks of it. So there we are, Solid X there, but 9mm's got PulseX, Coast, Hex, PulseX, and Soil token, and Signum token. So it's got a lot more activity there. So almost 10-to-1. Same market. See, who knows? Do markets know how to value? I don't know. You decide. Obviously, there's different supply numbers and all that sort of stuff, but there is some crazy stuff right there. Welcome to crypto. That's all we can say. How are we doing for time? We're an hour and 1 minute, so not bad at all. Should we have a quick look at Titanx? I wasn't really going to look at that today, but let's see if it's actually on the move a little bit. No, not too much happening. So still in the accumulation buy zone, the old Titanx. And of course, people obviously are looking for relativity plays, so we'll prefer things that are on the move at the moment. So that is kind of where we are on the markets there. Now, we got some questions in the chat, so let's go through some of those. We had Titanx in the house there. He was coming in talking about Titanx the other day. Now he's talking about PDI. Why did you decide to go with Teddy Bear from Brutes? I don't know if I would decide to go with Teddy Bear from Brutes and not the original Bear and PDI from Richard Art and James Osborne. Copyrights the original. Trope had brought so much value to the PulseChain and activity. Well, I think we've gone through all that in my commentary today. And I cover all of PulseChain, so I don't know what you're talking about there. What else there? I'm the only one watching, so I thought I'd ask the questions to get you back on the right track, says Titanx. It's a bit condescending, but hey, thanks for coming. What else we got? All right, we got Eagle in the house there. 1111 PDI 414 WAGME. That's from Eagle there. They've been doing pretty well, haven't they? The old 414 WAGME combination and PDI as well. So big shout there to Eagle Steady. What else there we got there? We got Tin Top in the house there. What's up, Tin Top? Hey, good to see you, Tin Top. Hope you're doing well. Always a big shout out there. I used to always go, what's up, Tin Top? And good to see you in the house today. We got Marcus in the house there. PulseChain, Por me vida atuda. Oh, no, damn it. I haven't got my, what language is that? Is that Italian? What else do we got? 414 WAGME again from Eagle. Hey, you're loving that with the old moon. We got Mayo in the house as well. LFG, good to see you, Mayo. And Eagle in again for 414. Up 30.91%. Yeah, it's been doing pretty well. Definitely worth checking out there. And Emmett to the upside. Yeah, only crypto. Yeah, Emmett's been doing great. So if you guys are looking for high yield farms, Emmett's one of the best. If not, maybe it's the best. I don't know. There's a couple of farms. We've got Vox is doing pretty well. Who else is out there giving high yields? That's high yields. Obviously, you got the lower yield farms, PulseX and other things, but you're definitely Emmett, Vox, and Nexian high yields on all those. And then as I think Axel as well. I think farms, they're a token deployer. Can't remember the farms, but possibly Axel, but definitely the first three there definitely offering high yields on PulseChain at the moment. And Emmett, of course, some fantastic tokenomics and partnerships with Crypto Paradise, Pulse Bitcoin, many other teams doing some good stuff there. All right, so that's pretty much it. An hour and 5 minutes into the live stream. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. And yeah, we did have a little bit of update news from Jack Levin. So Jack Levin's still moving X1 forward. They're doing the IGEN layer on Solana. That's going to, I think, peer 1-to-1 for X1 when it launches. Remember, X1 is going to be a fork of Solana, but with all the latest bells and whistles on it. Includes IGEN layer staking. So yeah, people stake Sol over there, and it backs up 1-to-1 copy on X1 is the way we understand it. Now the way they're obviously doing X1 Labs, which is kind of their capital raise. With the they've raised at least $3 million last time I saw. Maybe it's much higher than that now. But they're also registered with the SEC for that, and so this is the order we're expecting. We're expecting X1 to launch, and then of course the XNT token, I think it is the main fee coin, was going to be originally XN, right? I think it's XNT now, and that's going to be the fee coin, and then they're going to potentially have the burn parties, and that's when Zen will come back into favor, I guess. At the moment, so it's a little bit out in the cold, and of course pretty cheap to pick up the Zen right now. And then of course they're going to have these burn parties. So that's what we understand at the moment. So we'll keep a trick out on that. And of course we don't know what the allocation is going to be, the tokenomics allocation. We know kind of the idea that Jack wants to try and make the value of the chain relatively low so that it has plenty of upside, but we'll see how that all plays out. He's very good at technology, but then tokenomics, well, it's questionable, right? So there we go. We'll see where it goes, though. This is crypto. He's definitely bullying the bells and whistles onto that chain, and it's got to be very, very close there. And the Velo is running pretty well. The chain's operating very well, so on the test net. And so we'll see how that goes. So at the moment, the only way you can kind of pre-mine is to do Zen block mining, and I got a video on that in the video on this channel, so you can definitely check that out if you want to do Zen block mining. And of course, the other way of doing it is becoming a validator, and you get sort of I think a multiplier bonus there by doing that at the moment. So we'll see how that all lands. Obviously, previously you could have done Sol Zen mining. And you could have also done a lot of those different Bitcoin BRC20 type tokens mints that they had. So it's going to be interesting to see how he wraps that all into an allocation. Originally, we had a very clear allocation of how that was going to work, but who knows what it will be when we finally get there. So keep your tabs on that. Welcome to crypto. Lots of things move and change as we get used to it. What comes with high performance? Volatility and craziness. That's pretty much it. So that's why it makes it kind of fun, does it? I don't know. You decide whether you think that's fun, but it definitely keeps you on your toes. That's for sure. So yeah, we've got Richard Hart doing X Storms at the moment on all sorts of different topics. He's obviously encouraged the community to get out there marketing. He's done definitely some big moves coming up. Oh, what's happening on the 5th of July, right? I think it's the end of the 60-day period. Whoa. So that'll be the final nail in the coffin for the SEC. The 5th of July, I think it is. Yeah, 60 days. And that's pretty huge. What we're going to see, we can see any sort of gold mode candles. Is that when we're going to see it? We're going to see a gold mode candle on the 5th of July. You guys decide, but maybe we'll see. All right, so on that note, shall we play a little FOMO video out where we are in the markets? I'm going to play this cool one because I think this is kind of where we are. We could have the big tax bill this Friday. Yeah, baby. Green candles. Then some trade deals flying out, maybe 12 trade deals over a couple of weeks. Who knows? Following after that. And then, of course, more good news around crypto as we move forward into the year. And this big banana part of the cycle, the altcoin season starts kicking. Let's go. World peace. Let's think about it. Pakistan, India, trade deals. Congo, Uganda, peace after decades. Trade deals. Everyone's getting a trade deal. You get a trade deal. Oprah gets a trade deal in Hawaii. You get a trade deal. Anyway, everyone's getting a trade deal. Iran, Israel, peace is holding so far. And of course, and today, Ukraine, Russia, it looks like we're getting some movement there towards peace. And so that would be very, very cool at the moment. So yeah, and that ushers in, if you've got peace, and then you've got the ultimate economic strategy with the three-legged stool strategy, it's game on. And then, of course, we've got record M2 monetary supply. Will we get interest rates cut on the 3rd of July? Pressures are mounting. And, of course, then everything, Trump starts, everyone's building tens of trillions of dollars going to go into the US economy, and boom, golden age of America, golden age of crypto ahead. And it's going to be a fun time. So yeah, we are lucky. We are lucky. You're lucky. We just had a few pains, little birthing pains for the last 5 months to get there, as Trump's fixed up a lot of problems in the world. But things do seem to be heading in the right place. So bring on the bull market. That's all we can say. Bring on the capital on PulseChain. Looking forward to Rack and Michelle's onboarding prowess. Looking forward to Firewell's onboarding prowess with the SolidX and X game. Looking forward to Sun Mini Meal bringing all those customer buys, and of course the buy and burn ramping up. Looking forward to a ramp now. Banksa, more bridges, Liberty Finance bridging, multi-chain bridging. Bring it all on. Bring on the bull market. That's all I can say. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next show. And I appreciate all the comments in the chat. All right, bye for now.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing each cycle. It's not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of the correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.